Hey, I'm about halfway through Chapter 3 of All Systems Red by Martha Wells, the part of the Murderbot Diaries. This is, I guess, a little novella. I guess they're all novellas of this Murderbot, a part organic, part mechanical creature who is apparently very kind of cheaply made security system that a company in the future forces exploration teams, prospecting teams to take with them as a part of their package when they go to explore a planet, seeing if they want to buy in as so like resource. I think resources and stuff like that. And yeah, this murder bot opens the story saying, "Well, I hacked my governor protocol, my governor nodes, so that basically I'm not controlled. I don't have like all these impediments on me. I'm semi more autonomous. One of those autonomies being that it's theoretically shouldn't be able to stray more than 100 yards from its assigned keepers, or else it would fry. But she doesn't have that. Not it doesn't have that. It's funny when you want to say she. It's interesting how you do those things. Um, we open with them prospecting in one of these caverns, and there's an explosion, or it seems like it's an explosion at first, but it turns out it's some of the local flora and fauna, some giant beast erupting up and grabbing one of the prospecting scientists, and Murderbot gets in between, wrestles the person away, gets him out, clamps down on a wound that's gushing, and is able to get the person affected and another person who's kind of gone into shock to the right area where they can get picked up and rushed away. And what they seem to find out is that they bought a kind of a survey report of the thing, but the survey report has been uh, edited. Things have been taken out, like flora and fauna, and there's also gaps in the map as well. Now, when it was comforting the person who was in shock and coaching them along, it un- unopaked its mask and showed the person the face, where apparently has sort of a generic human face, and kind of talk to him soothingly, probably using apparently with the hack she's gotten it has gotten access to all like the entertainment feeds, and actually is totally like has its stories that it likes to watch, even though it kind of fast forwards through the sex scenes because it has no sexual genitalia or anything like that, and no interested in it. It's like just boring, so it just fast forwards through it. It feels like even if I had sexual genitalia, I don't. I think I'd still fast forward through this crap. Um, but it talk to the person comfortably, and much to its displeasure, the team starts to the leader being Mensa, starts to actually kind of with treat it like a person, which it doesn't like. And it's like, oh, would you like to stay here? And it's like the look of horror on my face is like, or you don't have to. It's like, yeah, immediately, it's like I have to check the perimeter, and goes, and it's got a gigantic chunk of itself tick pulled out, and I guess at a certain point when it gets things down, the health things just go on, and it gets shut down, and when it comes back online, it's 98% up up and running, and they figure out the stuff about things have been edited, and they decide they better go off and check the map, because there's these gaps in the map, and it's like, well, what's going on here? And they get down to one of these areas, and it's like there's nothing here that would prevent satellites from not documenting it, and they've checked with another group that's like on another continent, and they're kind of exchanging maps and stuff like that, and they seem to both have the same gaps. So it's like the company is probably fucking them over. As with, like, yeah, the murder bot is also there just to basically record all conversations and send it to the company, and it doesn't have any control over that. It has to do that. But the murder bot is very much kind of like, I'm keeping it very, very quiet that I have hacked my governor module, because if anything knew that, I would just get scrapped. And when it was wounded and it came to them, it took off its armor, and they were like shocked, because like, holy shit, you're a person. It's like, no, I'm not a person, I'm a murder bot. Kind of that kind of a feel to it. And you get the sense it's like, it's probably mostly a person, but completely just slave. And also, I don't know if it's like Martha Wells, the author, is sort of playing it as sort of autistic, even though the murder bot seems to be very well aware of all the like little personal intricacies, interactions between the various members of the team. So it's picking up that stuff. It's just not particularly interested in them. It's almost like, I was thinking like it was autistic, but in some ways it's almost like it's sort of um, uh, non-binary, and is not, oh crap, what is the thing when you're not, you just don't have sexual, there's something that's particularly not, don't have sexual feelings. So it seems to have that more than being like autistic. It's aware of sexual desires and stuff like that in other people, but it just doesn't have any of its own. And it's an it, not a he or a she, even though I really want to call it a she. I guess maybe because it's taking care of everybody. I've part of my brain is really trying to go for that. And maybe because it's being written by Martha Wells, a woman, I'm also thinking about it as a female-ish creature, which is odd. Female authors often write about males, and maybe people who are neither male or female. So that's odd. So yeah. Because at first I was like, oh, is this kind of doing some kind of autistic thing? Because that's been done to death, and I don't know if autistic people would particularly enjoy that. But I don't think it's trying to do autism. So yes, it's interesting so far, and there's that kind of interesting mystery of why everything's been edited. Um, and there's just that whole thing of, it's obviously like it's a slave that's sort of got a bit of its own, wiggled its own freedom there, and it really wants to preserve that. And it's a murder bot. It's apparently killed lots of people in its past. At least that's what it seems to. It's let drop. So it doesn't particularly have, like, if it doesn't have its governors on, what is preventing it from, murdering everybody, you know, or not? It seems to be following its contract pretty much to the letter. I mean, and that might just be out of self-interest, because if I murder everyone, well, then they'll scrap me. So I don't want to murder everyone. So I'm being very self-interested that way. So yeah, those are my thoughts on All Systems Red by Martha Wells so far. More videos later.